I'm streaming them both to two different feeds. One is YouTube, and the other is TikTok. And I didn't set the TikTok up. I was like, oh, I forgot a step. That was silly. That was silly, silly. Hi, Truth Wave. Divine Rising. Oh no, I forgot who I was at. Oopsie. Oopsie. Well, we're just going to get whoever we get. That's it. And the people that are meant to show up are going to show up anyway. It's all about divinely aligned and divine timing and all of those beautiful things, right? So, happy sunrise. I have to do something here too. Um, there. You have to have a wrench here too. This is the way it is. Divine rising. So, I need some tea. I need some tea. How are you doing? Hi, Shelby. Mm. Today is Transformation Thursday. That means that we're going to have some cards. There's definitely going to be some cards. And because we'll do an energy check-in, right? So I'll use the cards. The cards are really just a tool. They're a medium. Some people trust the cards because it's a visual representation. Like if you just show up and I'm just sitting here just spieling, you know, if I just call in the divine truth or whatever, just to channel my own message or channel the message from my guides or from wherever, you might come in with a little more skepticism, probably, possibly. So by having doing a reading, you have the opportunity to see the message as well and have that reflected back at you. Happy sunrise. I would be so I'm going to talk to you from the healthcare professional standpoint on this, because we all have multiple like backgrounds or fractals of pieces of ourselves that make up our existence. Hi, Edie. Just breathe for first. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to allow that energy to just flow through you, Shelby. Just let it flow. No judgment. No judgment. Okay. Just let it flow through you. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the solution stage. Okay. I want you to validate the emotions that you're experiencing. Validate it. What they did was wrong. And that's why I'm going to give you the next piece of it, which is what you can do. Right? No, it's okay. Just let it. Just let it. It's okay. I'm gonna do something with you in a minute. One, definitely connect with a lawyer. What they did is absolutely not. No, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Okay. So, I'm trying to. I can feel your energy, Shelby, and I get it. What, like somebody like a doctor just changing your medications and lowering things and not like there's a discussion like you are. The healthcare system is taking liberties, and it's more than just on you in this situation. There's so many times when they take liberties. There's a lot of lies and deception and stuff that's right that they've created within the structure. And I mean, we know all about this mass. We know all about the matrix. You know, if you're hanging out with me, 396. We almost got 369, but 396. we that are here probably are outside of the matrix a little bit. Hello, Mr. Straw, right? We're aware that, you know, there's powers that be that are doing things to us, that our air is poisoned, our water is poisoned, our food is poisoned, and, you know, that they just really disconnect us from our true divine self. And it's because of this whole control mechanism, because basically, you know, the attention that they take from us, this energy that they take from us, is what they're after. So they just want to have ourselves looking outside of us to fulfill ourselves through all these different means and disconnect us from our true power. So having No, that's okay. That's okay. There's patient advocates that are out there. There, and even connecting with, you know, you can even connect with an actual lawyer, and deal with it that way. But look for a patient advocacy group. There should be some. You're in Arizona, right? I think you're in Arizona, because I plan on coming and seeing you at some point when I go to Arizona. I'm gonna see you in Arizona. You can come to me, or I can come to you, but either way. Um, what does that mean? Um, so so that's the biggest thing, right? No, those don't. You don't have to have them. You choose them. Okay. You don't have to. You don't have to have those thoughts. It's a choice at this point. If you are recognizing that they're there and you don't want them, then you choose, I'm not having them, because you are a badass, Shelby. Don't let somebody else tell you what you should think or feel or experience in any moment of your life. And if you don't want to experience that, don't experience it. Take the control back into your life, right? So I don't want to have those thoughts, don't have them. I don't want to feel that way, don't feel that way. There is choice that's available in there. And that's not about not recognizing the emotions. Like, the first thing that I asked you to do was validate and allow it to flow through. Once you've passed through the sense of like allowing that energy to flow, because it could be tied to other emotions or experiences that you've had, so allow that to purge those other emotions. For instance, my mom recently had a surgery, and the surgery that my mom had was bigger than what she had anticipated going in for. But that's not even the point. My mom came out of the surgery, and the surgery went fantastic, and she's recovering very well. She has minimal pain, and she also has a nurse that, you know, I have a lot of nursing experience. So she has her own personal nurse. And my mom still had like wanting to cry. So I sat and talked to my mom, and I'm like, but when you're in a surgery or when you go through an experience with healthcare, it takes you back to all those times when maybe you got hurt and your parents said, you know, you want something to cry about? I'll give you something to cry about. Right? And so you're like, oh, I'm crying and now I'm going to get punished more. And so you shut down your emotions. Or when you got hurt and your parents didn't do the right thing. Like, all of these traumas come up. And some of us have actual hospital trauma, right? I have hospital trauma, or I did. I've dealt with it. But, you know, when I was 9, I fell off my bike and I knocked myself out cold. We were at a bike party, and this is a big story. This is a big story. So get ready. It's story time. All right, let's go down the memory lane of me for a moment. When I was 9, we lived on a farm, and we had strawberries beside us, and we used to go and we used to go and take the strawberries to the flea market and sell them at the flea market for like 25 bucks a flat. So we'd be out there picking the strawberries, and then we'd take them, and my parents would sell them and make a little bit extra money. At this one yard sale, flea market where we were selling, I saw a bike, and I wanted the bike so bad. It was a cute little two speeder, like a two-wheel bike. It was just so cute. It was this pretty blue color, and I wanted the bike really bad. So, you know, I was a pretty cute kid, and I would pout. I did. So I did the whole like, please, 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 pouting at my. Well, anyway, my mom was like, finally conceded, but she conceded within the sense of, if you sell the last flat of strawberries, we'll buy the bike. So I sold the last strawberries because I was cute. And I was persistent. And I mean, who could, like, honestly. I know the picture's kind of scuffy, but like if she came up to you and she was like, could you please buy these strawberries? Can you get these strawberries? You'd probably give her 25 bucks, especially if you knew she was trying to get a bike out of it. Anyway, my stepfather took the bike home and gave it to my cousins. I kid you not. I kid you not. He took this bike that I was so in love with at the flea market because it was just it was a pretty blue color. It was cute and it worked. So he decided, nope, nope. She did what she was supposed to do and sold the strawberries and we bought the bike, but that's not enough. We're going to give this, I give this bike away. And he thought it would be cool. You know how they used to have those Harleys, like with that had the long front end, so it was like a smaller wheel on the front. I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, they had the smaller wheel on the front of the car, and like whatever, that kind of buck. Hi, I love you too. So anyway, so he modifies a chopper. Yeah, okay, a chopper. It's been too long since I've been concerned about motorcycles in any way. So he turns this 10-speed bike into a chopper. So he takes and he extends the forks at the front of the bike and he put a two-wheeler bike, like a 2-speed bike on the front end, and then it had the 10-speed bike on the back end. Now, granted, because of all the monkeying around he did with the bike, I didn't have any brakes on it. So flash forward maybe a week or two, and my brother and I are at a friend's birthday party in the neighborhood. And I was somebody that moved around a lot, so I didn't know neighborhoods, or like I moved so much that so I didn't know the neighborhood that we were in at all. So we go to this birthday party with all of these other kids, and it's a bring your bike birthday party because there's going to be all these bike games, and then maybe we're going to go for a ride out in the streets as part of the party. So we're out there and we have those games, where you try to stay on your bike as long as you can without pedaling, and, all these other little activities that we did with our bikes. And then we decided to go for this bike ride. And as I said, I did not know the neighborhood, don't know anything about it. So we're all riding along on our bikes and we go like they rolled down a hill, and at the bottom of the hill there was a cul-de-sac. And I didn't see where they went. I lost track of them. And because I had to go down, I was scared going down the hill because I didn't have any brakes on my bike. So I had to do where you put your foot on the back tire and slow yourself down that way. But anyway, I went down this hill. I couldn't see where they had went. So I was like kind of panicked a little bit about where did everybody go, because they had went off the road onto these trails and I didn't see it. What I also didn't see was a piece of the curb that had been ejected from the curb and sitting on the road. So I hit that curb with my bike and it flung me completely off my bike and actually hit my head on the curb. And so I don't remember anything after that till I remember being on my brother's bike. And mind you, like he would have been 10, maybe 11 at most, and he would have been a fresh 11-year-old. So he had me, 9 years old, on his bike pushing me. And I remember the determination in that boy's face and the fear. Like I could sense like he was scared. And that was what was fueling him to push his sister on his bike unconscious. Like, don't forget, I'm unconscious. So I have I'm not helping. And I don't know if you've done any work with bodies at all, but as a nurse, I can tell you that when the person doesn't help, it is so much heavier, so much harder. It's not fun, not fun. So anyway, then I remember when we were at the house and the dad putting me in their car. Then I remember being at my house, getting taken out of the car. And then I remember going into the hospital and having a brief moment there. And then I remember being sick a lot in the hospital. And then I remember them discharging me home. And so they sent me home. Now, as a nurse of over 20 years now, I look at that situation and I know there was so much inappropriate care that was given at that time, because I never should have been discharged. I was not maintaining consciousness. I was not keeping food down. I was still very, very disoriented. So there was no reason they should have discharged me from the hospital. I should have been in there for evaluation. But anyway, they discharged me, so off to home I went, and I did not want to be awake. I just wanted to go to sleep forever. Forever. I was sick into my stomach. I couldn't eat. I couldn't, like, I didn't want to walk. I was just like, I was honestly like this with the world. I was just like, no, just let's not. We'll just return another day. We'll do this another time. But no, not to, just let's just forget forever sleep. And so I did this for a while. I don't even know how long because time was like really weird at that point. And then finally, my parents' concern took me to a doctor. And the doctor did all these scans in the office. So like in my ear, an assessment, and like whatever he could do with his stuff. And he was like, okay, so this is what you have to do. Every hour on the hour, you have to wake her up. And you have to take this serious because if you don't wake her up every hour, you might not wake her up. Two, if she's still the same way tomorrow, you're going to take her to this big fancy hospital that was hours away from us. So at this point, my friend here, Crystal, will know, I was actually living in Langley, British Columbia, and we went to Burnaby, to the Royal Columbian Memorial Hospital. So it's quite a trek, and of course, because of the redneck situation that I grew up in, we didn't even have all 4 seat belts in the car. We took a truck, and I sat on the floorboards in front of my mom, all the way from Langley to Burnaby, because they couldn't possibly just have a regular vehicle that could fit all of the people that live in the house, right? So anyway, we get to the hospital, and my hair was like this when I went into the hospital as well. Like my hair was all one length, all the way, like same length. It was exactly like this when I went. It's kind of funny. So I went to the hospital. They do all these tests on me, right? Like CAT scans and stuff like that. And the neurologist that was in the emergency department, or the gentleman in the emergency department comes in, and he's like, yeah, she's got a blood clot. We're going to have to operate. So we've got her on the schedule for tomorrow. And I'm just going to have the neurologist come down and just check everything. And that was where we were at. So the neurologist comes down. He's like, rerun it all. And so he reruns the scans. And he comes in and he's like, no, we're operating today. We are operating today. So they did emergency surgery and operated, and I had my head shaved all on one side. So this is kind of funny because I've done so much repairing and healing in my lifetime that the only way that I can tell I have to really search for the scar now. It used to be for most of my life very, very apparent, but it's not. So anyway, I had this part of the scar that is this long. They drill 3 holes, make a triangle, take the triangle plate of skull out, drain off all the blood because there was a clot. So they remove the clot, put the cap back on, and seal everything up. This is essentially what the procedure is. So I woke up in the middle of the procedure, and I looked at I don't know, it was a very white space, and I don't know if it was an ND, like it was my NDE, because I woke up and I was like in this very white space, and there was a man there, and the man was like, now is not the time. And then I went, okay. And I fell back asleep. And that's what it felt like. I woke up to this bright white space with a man, and that just told me it wasn't time yet, and I went back to sleep. And then the rest of the surgery and came out, and it was very scary because it was a very big hospital with a lot of, they had big traumas there. So I was seeing people in full body casts and wrapped up and facial burns and stuff like that. So that was in and of itself a bit traumatizing. So the doctor, when he came out, he said to my mom, well, the worst thing about the whole thing was cutting her hair. It was such a shame to have to cut her hair. So I had to shave the whole side. So for the longest time, I would have wore my hair like this to cover up that I had shaved side on this hair. I was trendy before it was trendy, doing the undercut. I just chose one side undercut instead of the whole thing. Anyway, but he said that had they waited till the following day to do the surgery, I would have died. That I had literally hours left to live. from the blood clot that I had in my brain. So, you know, you can get a lot of trauma from that. Then you're staying in a hospital and you're spending time and your parents aren't there and you're by yourself, and that was scary. And you know, I remember my mom leaving me rolls of quarters so that I could call her. But it didn't take me long before I befriended the entire nursing staff, and I would get like extra treats because I was super cute, and you know, like I would was really sweet. I was a sweet kid. I know that. And so I would be really, really cute with the nurses and friendly with the nurses. And so they would like give me extra little things, and, you know, it was nice. And I think, you know, if you're, I've worked in peds and I know, you know, when the kids are really, really, I'm still sweet. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It's just a part of me. It's just who I am. I know I have this sweet little soul in there that goes along with some badassery. It's sugar and spice. It's a combo. It's a combo pack. Oh yeah, and it's ran and operated by a whole herd of squirrels. So I mean, it's fun. It's fun. It's exactly what it is. It's fun. But anyway, so we can get those traumas, and then it takes nothing for anything along the way to trigger into that space. And you can be feeling like you weren't supported, or feeling like you're seeing things that are uncomfortable for you, or, you know, like that you've distorted. Like I thought the guys all mummied, they were mummies, and they were like, and they were burned faces. And it was like, you know, it makes you think about like, you know, Friday the 13th and stuff. Even if you didn't watch the movie, which unfortunately for us, we were exposed very young. So I would have watched the movie, probably by the time I was 9. And so we got early exposure to things that like that you shouldn't get exposure to. So then you can create even more scary things in your brain. That's another part of the matrix, right? Seed all these images into your mind, so then you keep recreating them. And the more people that create it, the more real it becomes. Just another mechanism of fear. All right, let's check in on the energies. That was my little talk about how you can, though, get triggered into those spaces, and it can be something. It can be something small. I had a huge thing with my doctor Shelby. Lost my mind on him because he violated my privacy. He spoke to my then partner, who we were currently in the process of separating, and he spoke to him and told him things that I had told him during my private doctor's appointment. He relayed to my ex-partner, and that's a violation of my privacy. That's, you know, and so unfortunately for him is that he has to deal with somebody that has understanding of that. So I'm going to give you the understanding. Don't take that, right? You're not a lab rat. They don't get to just determine that they're going to change your stuff all around on you without having a conversation. You have autonomy. It's a part of your health care, is the right to choose, the right to refuse, the right to a lot of things. There's like 13 rights now, I think. It started off as 8. Well, there was different rights too. But anyway, do something about it. Okay, let's check in on the energy. Today is our Transformation Thursday. So I've got a couple of things that I wanted to do with you. I want to give you a little handy dandy little technique that's going to help as well. I love you, Crystal. Have a beautiful day at work. All right, what do we got for the energy for today for the collective? Ooh, we've got the higher view coming in. When I see this card, I always think about how we pull ourselves back from the drama, right? It's kind of like the not my circus, not my monkeys, right? It's allowing yourself to get a different perspective and elevate your view, right? And we do that. Like everything's in layers, right? And people will be like, there was this reel that I saw, and it was talking about conspiracy theories. And the girl's like, I love conspiracy theories. And the other girl goes, oh, do you? Which conspiracy theory do you like? And then she starts riddling off all the conspiracy theories, and it's like deeper, 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 deeper. And the girl's like, I mean, I like the one about that there's like fluoride in the water, and she's like, we're not the same, right? There's definitely levels. And so this is that getting that different perspective and pulling back higher and higher and higher and higher in allowing yourself to get those other perspectives. And we're doing that, and we need that, right? I, on a daily basis, am sending out a wave of truth, dissolving structures, and you can do it too. You're a powerful person. Your intention, your energy, your focus, your awareness, my gosh, that's powerful. That's what they're taking from us. And they're getting you to put it all outside of you instead of going inside of you. And give it to everybody in this toxic way instead of recognizing there's healthier ways, right? Mm, just missed it. Just missed it, guys. It's a sad, sad moment right here. It is now the forever cooling of the tea beyond the yummy spot. It's not. I need one of those plates. I need one of those plates. I need to put my address, like a PO box address, on my website so people can just like send me gifts, and then I'll get one of those cup things that heats your cup up so my tea never gets cold. We do, of course we do. I drank my coffee cold too. All the time. All the time. Um, okay, so we've got, I'm going to pull the next card, but I had to take a sip and dang it. Well, actually, one of the people that I connected to with marketing before suggested that I have my Amazon wish list on there so that people could gift me certain things. I feel like I have a hair, like a small hair somewhere. It's touching. So that people could gift me cards and stuff, and then I would do readings on the air, and it'd be like, oh, I got you those cards, and I would, like say, look at this I got from, that particular user. Yeah, it was as a marketing thing. So I don't know. I was supposed to do it, but I just didn't. I just didn't. Alrighty. What other energies do we have right now? My plant's pulling my hair. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. I think I can have it back now. There we go. Had it. This one had it. That one there. I was holding on to my hair. All right. What are the other energies that are coming up for the collective today? I do have an energy thing we're going to do after. Remember, we do check in. Maybe that's all it is. We just need to have a higher perspective. That's all they want us to know right now. Change your perspective. Get a higher perspective. Move yourself beyond the veil, right? Move yourself beyond the lies and deceptions that are there, right? Okay, let's see what's coming from the shaman. Okay. All right, hollow bone, beautiful card. Teachability. Everybody has the ability to learn. And if you don't have the ability to learn, then that's because you've probably done something to block yourself in. And one of the best ways to block yourself in is to do things like say, I know. Because the second you say, I know, you close yourself off to learning anything more. So, I know is one of the worst things that you can do, right? So that's a big part of leaving yourself open. And we are all able to learn. And there's so much wisdom we get from our ancestors. Oh my goodness. There's so much wisdom that exists within your body, right? Like it is literally a codex of information that you contain and you have the ability to access. Right? When people access the Akashic records, for instance, they're not going into a business or into a library or into anything like that and physically reaching into a shelf or a drawer and pulling out information. They're not grabbing a book off the shelf. They're going inside and they're accessing an energetic space, which was where the records are held. So this is an inside thing. Right? So in the sense of like looking at that like hollow bone concept, right? What is inside? All this wisdom and knowledge is inside you. And you just have to go within to find it. And, and when you go within and you start sitting within yourself, then you're going to start getting to the point where you're discerning better, right? You're discerning more about the truth of situations. So when something happens, like something like, we'll say the vid word, that particular word, which I'm not going to say too much because I just don't want to get censored on it, but I know you guys know what I just said, and then the vid. And, when you put that together, like we know that there's deception with all of that. And when you sit with yourself and you get straight with yourself and you go within, you start to be able to discern the truth of stuff. And you may not know the absolute truth, but you'll at least know enough to say, wait a second. There's deception here of some magnitude, and I want to know the truth. Reveal the truth to me before, going forward. The cosmic womb also came up, and this is a call for the divine feminine. The divine feminine is reawakening. It's not the rise of the divine feminine in like it's never been on earth before. It's not the rise of the divine feminine as if it's some new energy. Every single person, everything, every single thing in on earth has masculine and feminine energy running through it, and depending on what you're doing, you're operating either through the masculine energy or the feminine energy. Now you may have within you a set space where you naturally operate with your energy, where you may feel aligned with masculine energy more, and I feel more aligned with feminine energy more. But man, oh man, do I have masculine energy. I had to. I had to. I didn't have good male role models in my life, so I had to protect myself. I didn't have a provider in my life, so I had to go and provide for myself. And I had a society that also pushes women to be all that they can be in every way that possible, so that, you know, I can do everything that you can do. I don't need no man, right? Like they push us into that space, right? So I definitely operated in my masculine energy. But one of the most healing things I ever did in my life was sit in my feminine and honor my feminine and embrace it. So this divine feminine, it's the world going back to the way that it should be, where we honor both the divine feminine energy and the divine masculine. And it's not the masculine energy like we think. Masculine energy is not, I'm going to take from you. Masculine energy is not authoritative, like I will, you know, I will tell you what you do and you must listen to me. You must not speak. You must just take what I say and be the subordinate thing that you are. That's not masculine energy. Healthy divine masculine energy looks at you and goes, I see your talents. I see your skills. I see you. I see you. And you know what? I can empower you by seeing the light here and making it grow. And what's going to make the entire collective better is when I can see the light in all of you in the best places that it is. And I can allow you to excel in the spaces that you are meant to excel in. So you get to live the most beautiful, full life that you can live, as opposed to thinking that you have to be this or be that or sit in this space, or that masculine means to consume and destroy and conquer, or that it means unabiding, you know, fealty to something of authority. That's not the truth. Masculine energy is so much more beautiful than that when we sit with the true divine masculine energy. And no divine masculine energy is truly whole without the divine feminine. And just like no divine feminine energy is whole without the divine masculine. It's absolutely beautiful that we have to bring these together. All right, let's see what is coming from the divine feminine right now. Ooh, she's got messages right away. Mother Rose. So the Mother Rose is about returning to each other. We've been through, and we just talked about it. We talked about the co, and you know the other part, vid. Hi SK, and hi Tarot, hi Priestess Ruby. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my channel. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are here, please hit the like. We got 3333 across the board on my thing over here, so very nice. Through the co and the, you know, the other part of it, the vid, through that whole thing, what ended up happening was even more division and separation. And we come from unity consciousness. We come from energy, where energy is connected to it. And in higher dimensions, we're all connected in such a deep way. I mean, we would be communicating telepathically. We would sense when there was energy somewhere along the field that was a bit lower, and collectively, as a unified body, we'd be like, oh, what's going on over there in that node? Quick, send some healing or some love from our overflowing, our amazing energy. Let's send that to our, you know, we would send that out. We would send that energy to that spot in the earth, or we'd send that energy out to that individual to raise them. Right? We would work in that way. But we've been separated. We got separated into bodies. We got separated by all the things that are meant to divide us, all the polarity that exists here, and society being the red versus the blue, the right versus the left, the black versus the white, the, you know, the rich versus the poor, men versus women. It's just polarity and division, so that everything in you is looking at somebody else out there going, ah, you're different than me, so I should dislike you, I should distrust you, I have to put all these things in there because of what they're saying. Like, I remember back when the war in Russia and Ukraine sparked up, and I remember, you know, hearing people being like, you know, like about the Russians, right? And it's like, but why do you dislike the Russians? I just want to ask you that. Like, why do you dislike them? Like, do you know any? Have you been like, have they done anything to you? Like, how did you come to this hatred that you have for these individuals? Like, please do tell me, enlighten me on like where your hate comes from. And it's like, well, I watch the movies and the news and the this, and so somebody else has told you what you should think or feel or believe about a whole culture of people. And if that's the case, like, what would that say for us? Right? Like, I know that some people can say, well, you're Canadian. So in Canada, we could say, well, you guys like, you know, you're like the peacekeepers, or you're, you know, you're very apologetic people, or you're kind, or you're multi-dimensional. But they might even have like bad views about Canada, right? They might have like really bad views about Canada. They could be thinking that, you know, we have these horrible things that we did to the Aboriginal. And I don't even like using that word, because that word in and of itself is an insult, right? As someone who has Mohawk lineage, I think that, you know, it's native, it's indigenous, it's by the tribe name. It is, but Aboriginal just being not normal, when you destruct the etymology of the word, is ab is not and original, right? So not original is what they decided to do when they brought that term out, is say that. Um, so I lost my train of thought. Anyway, we have that history. We have that mark in our history with those, with what they were called at that point in time were the residential schools, right? So we get those residential schools out there, and it's just that whole, yeah, exactly. It's logical fallacy. It's an intentional psychological warfare to divide and control. Absolutely, right? So we have this going on, and they've separated us even more. Then they, with this, the co and the vid, they decided, oh, you can't go, don't go near your neighbor because they're dangerous. Don't breathe their air. Wear this mask. Don't socialize. Like, that's where you're gonna, and so they did all of these things to disconnect us from. Don't go outside. Stay inside your house. Don't talk to anybody. Wear these masks. Use all this hand sanitizer. And now take this, which we are now finding out was not what we should have been doing. And many of us knew that. And for those who discerned it beforehand, amazing job, guys. Amazing jobs for having the discernment at that time. For the rest of us, there are things that you can do to cleanse it from your system if you choose that's what you want to do. And maybe I'll throw something together to show that. Divine Rising, good morning. So this Mother Rose is talking about returning to each other and reminding ourselves of the divinity that's in all of us. And that when you take away the puppet masters of pulling our strings, we're not different. We're not different. And we're starting to wake up to that. And I think people are really waking up, because after what happened with the separating everybody, and, you know, it's dangerous to go around your neighbor, and, you know, isolating us for those 2 years, now we come out and, hi Byron, now we come out and, my brain just dropped off the thing with that. We're starting to overcome that now. We're starting to awaken to it and starting to realize that we just need to turn away from what they are telling us we need to believe, or telling us what we need to think, and telling us what is right. We're seeing that after everything that happened, grocery prices, everything rose. Everything, like when you think about the cost of living before 2020, right back in 2000, like go back 2018. And then the cost of living now, exponentially more. And the ridiculous thing is that we are the ones that are suffering while everyone up there is benefiting, and there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. Logically, we're like, there's zero reason for it. There's zero reason for one person to have trillions of dollars while other people are going homeless. It's absolutely ridiculous that they have made it literally illegal to be in poverty. right? Somebody that sets up, so the prices got raised so much that many people couldn't afford to live, so they go and live in tents. And then they come around and they eject them from their tents, telling us, you can't even be in a tent now. Sure, you can't survive in your house and with the food and with all of that stuff. You can't pay, you can't do that. But now we're going to tell you can't even live in a tent. Right? Like, what is most of us are waking up and going, this isn't right. Why is it that some people, like, how are we living in a world where it is considered okay for somebody else to be buying a $10 million yacht that is probably their seventh, to be flying and putting this massive, like, when you look at the carbon footprint, right, of Hollywood, right? Meanwhile, then they come out. Like, I remember back, I used to live in Alberta, and Alberta has the oil fields. Now they go through and they reclaim those areas. Like, people have this distorted idea of what's happening, but they do all this fracking. So when you go up into the into northern Alberta, you can find a lot of spaces, and it's a muskeg. And what it is the oil has come up out of the earth so much so that the trees are just like they're literally just like, you can see it in it. So they go in and they pull that oil out and reclaim the environment. And when they leave it, it's a much more green environment, right? So, but they've vilified this and twisted it and turned it and distorted it and changed it into something. So, and I'm not talking about going into massive drillings or anything like that. I'm talking about reclaiming muskeg, where the oil is actually up out of the earth and it's on the top of the earth and it's affecting the life that's there, right? That stuff. But what we get is we get Hollywood stars who take a plane from LA to Alberta, then they hop in a helicopter to tour around the oil fields. They go on their big cars, their big entourages, and then they fly their plane back home, and then they preach to us about how we need to reduce our fossil footprint. Right? They preach to us about how we have to now use single-use plastic, or they preach to us about how, and I think we should go back to paper bags, and we can go back and the cloth bag revolution. I mean, it's great. Once you get into you're better at remembering to have your bags with you. It's great. Perfect. We don't need to do anything else. But it's that distortion that we're living in that needs to be corrected. And one of the pieces of doing that is for those of us down here that are underneath that control structure that they're putting in place, for us to remember our sovereignty, for us to connect to each other as the divine beings that we are, beyond what they have encoded into us to think and feel, right? We need to take our sovereignty back and say, I choose to see the divinity in you, the divine being that's in you, and I'm going to see the divine being that's in me. And I don't want to participate in this here. I don't want to participate in that anymore. I'm going to turn my eyes and I'm going to go to this space here. And instead of participating in the garbage over here, I'm going to create what I want to have or see or experience over here. And this is what we're doing right now. And that return to ourselves, that return to the collective. Healing the mother line. We're doing a lot of healing now. These energies are insane. And the energies that are so high right now in the Schumann resonance, like, it is like white, white, white. So we are just getting pummeled with activations, and we're doing timeline jumps and all of this stuff, because this is one of the most rapid expansions, the most rapid ascension that they've seen in the millennia. Like, this isn't just in this earth, but in all planetary shifts that have occurred. This is the most amazing one that's occurred. It's happening so rapidly, and it's beautiful. So healing is happening, and that energy in combination with the Leo full moon means it's a spicy time right now, and it's just us cleansing and clearing and moving out those shadow frequencies. So if you've been doing the work and all of this stuff is coming up, then you're going to be able to move through this stuff much easier. But if you aren't doing the work, then you're going to be experiencing this in a much different way, right? That's going to be causing a lot to come up. And some people don't want to do the work. Some people are quite satisfied with the level of awareness that they have. They came down to hold the dark so that we could rise into the light. Everything that we go against, that we have to overcome, that allows us to get stronger, which is why at the end of the day, we have to thank our shadow for helping us get to the light, or thank the darkness for helping us elevate. And this, a good message too, the rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy. Many of us think that we don't. And I mean, joy is one of those elusive things. I remember Brene Brown talked about it before. And there's a space where, we ruin our joy because while we're experiencing joy, we're already in the mindset of, like, oh, when's this going to end? Or when's the next shoe going to drop kind of thing? Or when's the rug going to get pulled out from underneath me? We walk through life like with that expectation or anticipation that it's got to be like this, right? Life can't possibly be like this or even like this, right? Like life in our minds, we're like, oh no, there's these ups and downs. So when you're on the up, you're like, okay, we're going to be hitting it down at some point. When's it coming? So we don't fully experience the joy. And that's just more conditioning that we've got to break through, right? That's more work that we have to do. You have a right to your peace. You have a right to your joy. You have a right to enjoy the sweetness of life, right? Yeah, the when the bubble's going to burst attitude. And it's such a way to just, you subtly ruin the joy that you're experiencing in that moment because of the anticipation that it's not going to last. So you're already looking for the next thing that's going to come in that's not going to be good, right? And it's just, meh, yuck, yuck. Let's not do that. We don't do that here, do we? We don't need to steal our own joy. All right, what are we getting from the light? From Father Sky? Ooh, Emerald Tablet activation. This is beautiful. And good morning, Mira. And hello. I have a t-shirt. Actually, it's not a t-shirt. I have a shirt that says perfectly imperfect. Perfectly imperfect. And it's like all shiny. It's a sequin shirt. That's what it is. The perfectly imperfect is in white and it's a black shirt, all sequins. I loved it. Back in the days when I would have went out, I would have wear it with a nice pair of black leather pants and in that sequin shirt with perfectly imperfect. It was nice. All right. I'm consistently inconsistent. Ooh, we should make up new ones. Consistently inconsistent is a good one, Carol. I like that. I'm consistently inconsistent. But let's make them empowering, though slightly, like humorous. Okay. All right. So we got our Emerald Tablet activation. There's divine wisdom that is mind blowing that we're going to start to have access to, right? And so the Emerald Tablet is talking about cosmic ordering and that divine alchemy, and as well conscious manifestation. And we are always manifesting. Every moment of the day, you are creating your reality out of your thoughts, out of your feelings, out of the words that you use to experience your life with, out of the belief systems that you create your frame with, all of those things and the actions that we take. The difference between me and other people or some of us is that I'm consciously aware of that, and I hope that the people that are here are consciously aware of that too, that your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings, your belief systems all contribute to the reality that you're experiencing. If I get up in the morning and I choose to have a good day and I choose to to think that life is a beautiful miracle unfolding before me, you know what, I'm going to experience a really nice day. But if I wake up and the first thing I think is, another day. Wow. What am I going to do today? Stupid world we're living in. How that energy is going to translate through it, right? How's that energy going to translate into your life, right? Yeah, it's just reminding yourself. So we're catching ourselves all the time, right? There went one. A lot of times people think, like there's this big job or this big, they're hoping for a magic wand. I find that a lot, that when I'm working with people early on in their healing journey, they're looking for the magic wand. There isn't a magic wand, and nobody's better than anybody. The only thing that I have different than what they have is that I applied what I talk about in practical terms in my life, and I continue to do so. And because I work in this area, I get reminders all the time. In this life of mirrors, most often the things that I'm saying out there, I'm saying so I can hear them. Now, I'm not saying them for you. I'm saying them for me because I need to hear these things. I need to be reminded of the knowledge that I know. I need to be reminded of my divinity. I need to be reminded that I'm consciously manifesting so that I don't sit there and have bad thoughts, right? Yeah, exactly. It's just time to Pull your socks up and do the work. And if you don't, the environment's going to make you do the work. And the environment's going to make you do the work because of the amped up energies that are happening. Good morning, Jerry Bear. As the veil gets lifted, as the curtain gets pulled back in The Wizard of Oz, right? You have no choice but to awaken. And you can awaken and overcome or move through the shadows that are getting brought up at that point in time, or you can succumb to them, right? And not everybody wants to wake up. Not everybody's meant to wake up. They didn't choose that in this lifetime. What else do we have from our, the Stargate Heart. The Stargate Heart. I gotta check in on these comments. Cough, cough, heck, yeah, cough, cough. About Carol being consistently inconsistent? Is that what the cough, cough was all about, Byron? We've got our Stargate Heart. This is a beautiful tool, the Merkaba. You can do a lot with this Merkaba. But what the Stargate Heart is, and I love that we have a green theme today so far. We'll see what the third card is if we get a third card. The heart chakra is opening. That's that compassion. That's that connectivity. That's us remembering that we are all one, and that what I do to you, I do to me, or that, when I heal me, I heal you. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we get from our heart chakra opening. And our heart chakra has to open to a certain level for us to raise our frequency. And then our heart chakra needs to be upgraded to handle higher frequencies. And so this the Stargate Heart, this is your heart chakra opening. And this will unlock a whole lot within your life, right? This will unlock more depth in your relationships and more aligned relationships. It will align you it'll put you in a space of generosity where you want to connect and connect with the group, right? When you want to connect with the collective and you want to help the collective. So that energy is going to, the more that our heart chakra opens, and we needs it. We needs it. I don't know where the needs, we needs it. Am I a hobbit now? We needs this. Like, I feel like I'm asked. Anyway, interesting. Catching the S on that. Star Gathering is the last card that came out. And the Star Gathering is about remembering home and our soul family. And I love that this card came out because it came out the other day as well. And we are starting to reconnect with our soul families. We're starting to remember where we came from. We're starting to remember I can do it all. There is. I like your little picture there, I like the little elf. And thank you, Keita, for the gifts. I appreciate you. I love you, and I hope you're doing well in beautiful British Columbia. I sense that you're doing well. And I'm going to have another sip of my cold tea. It's just not the same. But I will drink it. But it is not the same. Okay. So, and we're seeing that. So just use your discernment. There's stuff that's going on out there, right? We're talking about all of these things like Dior bags and blah, 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 blah. And we just need to discern. We just need to connect inward. Go in so that you can figure it out. It's my favorite thing to tell people. I need to put a shirt. Go within to figure it out is my thing for you. Go within to figure it out. And discern. That'll allow you to discern what is true to you, what is in alignment with you. And as you pull back from consuming that stuff and being invested in it, energetically invested in it, that's when you see the real change in your life, right? And it's a process, because I stopped watching news years ago. I stopped interacting with that kind of stream of stuff. But I would still engage on TikTok or social media sometimes, especially on TikTok, seeing some of the stuff that was coming out. And if it makes you respond emotionally, then you're too invested in it. And that's where you need to pull it back, right? What isn't? I don't know. Oh, it's no longer interesting to me, right? So when you pull yourself back, that's... but it's layers, right? So it's layers. And if you're still being emotionally affected by what you're seeing, then you need to work on that to pull yourself back a little bit more. Because it's not about fighting, and I talk about this as well, it's not about fighting war with war, right? Fighting with war, like using war to fight war means more war, right? It's obvious. So we have to do something different. And by doing something different, it's taking our awareness and attention back and directing it in the space that we want. And as we pull our attention away, the structures crumble. You can't help that the truth becomes revealed. And part of it is because we're raising the frequency of the earth, we're raising the entire planet. Um, but also because, like those little interactions of our energy is affecting other people. And also the darkness is not able to survive within it. So it keeps getting pulled up higher and higher and higher. Absolutely. It is one of my divine things, or one of my reasons for being here, is to bring divine truth. It's not about my truth, your truth, anyone else's truth. It's the divine truth. That's what we need to be bringing in and seeding into society now. Okay, that's what the cards are saying. Now, I want you guys to do a beautiful little cellular and DNA activation. I think that would be a beautiful use of a few minutes of our time today. And it's a really easy thing to do. And I've done a lot of the first part behind the scenes. I did a ritual before we started today. And by ritual, I mean, I lit a candle and some incense, and I put an intention out there that the truth would be, or I put an intention out there, and an intention for health. So this is just an intention for healing. Okay, and I sent this out around the world, right? So there will be remembrance, divine remembrance, and divine justice for those who have lied, and us being just free and sovereign. So that's a big part of what I did this morning, along with this healing and truth. I call it the truth wave, which is fun because truth wave meditation is an amazing meditation you should check out. It's on YouTube. They are also present on TikTok, Rumble, X, and Facebook, and does have some cool swag or merchandise that you can purchase as well. The meditation is a powerful meditation. It's where this group of people come together, and we're sending a wave of energy around the earth twice a day, making it readily available for anybody who needs or is looking for love, joy, peace, unity, Mother Gaia energy, feeling really grounded, or connecting to the ether. Not quite live on TikTok yet, but one of these days, it's coming. There may be a collaboration that's going to happen, and I'll stream it on my TikTok. Right there, right above you, Truth Wave energy meditation, but he's on YouTube as well. So this is just sending that energy, that wave of energy out to anyone that's looking to receive it, right? So it's available for it. Yeah, come and join us. It's a lovely community. We really do look at ourselves as being like soul family, and there's a lot of love and support. And if you're somebody who's like me that does their thing, Truth Wave is really good at sharing that too, right? It's not about, this is a space beyond competition. It's more collaboration and community, and just really unity consciousness, right? That's a big part of what's being shared there as well. Okay, so we're going to do this healing. We pay it forward. Absolutely. So we're going to do this quick little cellular and DNA activation. Okay, so I'm going to play a tone in the background because I can't do it on my phone. I think this is the right one. Okay. It's just a little one. It's just 528 hertz energy. Okay. So this is all we're going to do. I want you to put one hand on your, sorry, I was going to the solar plexus. One hand on your heart chakra and the other hand on your crown. Okay. So this is all you have to do with your hands. Okay. Okay. Now that you've got I took a breath and I could feel myself go into alignment when I did that, but I've spent a lot of time doing energy work and sitting with myself so I can drop into that space. But we're going to do this. We're listening to the 528 hertz. Now we're just going to see this beautiful emerald green energy spiraling through every cell in your body. Okay, so we're doing this, holding our hands to our heart and to our crown. okay? And visualizing that swirling emerald green energy going to every cell, every bit of our body, right? And when you realize like that we are mostly space, right? See that green energy weaving through all of the empty space, because then it's going to be around every bit of you. Every little bit of you is going to be covered in that energy, that beautiful emerald green energy. And now we're just going to speak this out loud, okay? So this is powerful. Powerful that we're going to speak. And the first thing that we're going to say is, I reclaim my original divine blueprint, okay? Your DNA is founded on a blueprint. So we want to have our original divine blueprint installed, okay? Next, it's my body, mind, and soul are restored to the highest light. Okay, so we want to be at our highest level, right? So we're restoring our body. And now the final thing that we're going to say, this is because we got to pay it forward in some way, right? Humanity is now free to remember. So they're free to remember. It's free will, free choice, and embody divine health. So we're making it available to everybody. It's there for them for the taking, but they have to take it, right? They have to be the ones to sip from the cup. But we put it out there and make it available for them. So that's all you're doing. You're restoring yours. You are calling in your highest light, and you're sending that wave out to other people so that they can have access to it. Okay? So now we're going to see this shift though. We're going to bring our hands down, and we're now just going to see through our hands, through our energy centers. We're going to see this beautiful, beautiful golden green. So it's golden white with green, that emerald green energy, and see that wave out through your hands. So it's just a wave. You can keep your eyes closed so you can visualize it really well. And if you can't visualize, just know it. Set the intention that this wave of golden white light from source energy, and also the emerald green, which is the energy from the heart chakra. And it's also the divine feminine energy, just to put that in there. The golden energy, the yellow from the golden energy, is the divine masculine energy. So we have both the gold from the divine masculine, the emerald green from the divine feminine, and the white source energy, the unity. So it's like three energies that we're sending out. Or we could look at it as Father Sky, Mother Earth, and unity consciousness that we're sending. Okay, and it's just in the intention of what we were saying about reclaiming our original divine blueprint, about your mind, body, and soul are restored to their highest light, and that humanity is now free to remember and embody divine health. So now we're going to call in this thing, because we want to amplify it a little bit. So we're going to now amplify this wave that we're sending. Okay, we'll just go and call it a wave. The wave across all lands, all minds, and all timelines. So we're going to be powerful and send this energy out everywhere. Okay, and just see it growing and expanding and going, that beautiful white, golden yellow, emerald green, tri-energy, the three energies together. A triple flame of energy, if you want to call it that, and send that out. Okay, and now we're going to say, may divine remembrance ignite within all. So we got that big divine remembrance coming in. This is a big one, okay? This is because the people have been distorting the truth and have been causing harm to people, and that stuff needs to be stopped. So this is where we're going to use our power. So we're going to say, may those who have deceived face divine justice. And justice will be delivered however is meant to be delivered for them, right? So we're going to send that out there within that wave of energy that's going everywhere, around the earth, out further and further, extending into the cosmos. And then finally, we're just going to say the world is now free. So we're freeing the world from these deceptions and lies that they're experiencing, and we're sending health. We're sending health to them, okay? Look how powerful you are. And we can just seal it and say, and so it is done. It is done. It is done. Divine truth, divine justice, and divine health will prevail. And look at you being an amazing energy worker. Starting with yourself, right? We always start with self. You can't pour from an empty cup. So we have to heal and go through self. How did that feel for you guys? You're welcome, Cookie. That's what we do on Thursday. On Tuesday, I do cards, like it'll be a Tarot Tuesdays. Monday on YouTube, I do an extended reading and energy check-in. On Tuesdays, like I said, it's Tarot Tuesday, both on YouTube and TikTok. And then on Thursdays, it's an energy check-in, and then we do something transformational, something energetic. Sometimes it's an individual energy thing that I do with you, because sometimes, darn it, I missed a couple cards. I missed a couple cards in that deck. Sometimes it's more of an individual thing as opposed to like I'll do individually send some energy to a person or an activation of some sort. But today I felt like doing something a little more global, and remind you that you're capable of all of this too, not just, you know, you're capable of being an energy worker. You're capable of really transforming the collective through what your intentions are, where your awareness is going. The more of us that believe in magic, the more that magic becomes available in this reality. The more of us that see beyond the illusion, the more that the truth becomes apparent within this reality. Right? We're all bringing it together. And so everybody that awakens, everyone that opens their eyes a little bit more and sees it for what it is, helps to bring it to the spot where that can no longer exist within the truth that that prevails, like in that space. So that's beautiful. Hi, Mary Mother Trucker. So that's it for me for today. I've got class at noon, so I'm going to hop off so I can do a couple of things before class starts. For those that are a part of the class, I will see you there. For those of you that are not, I don't know why. I don't. Today's class is a beginning class. It's a class on moving from your shadow. Like we're doing shadow work within this class. So if you're needing to work through your shadows and connect to your energy and do all of that, you guys come and hang out with me. But otherwise, I will see you back here on Monday on YouTube, and I'll see you back here on Tuesday on both channels. I could surprise you and do something in between then and now, but it will be a surprise for both of us because I have nothing scheduled as of yet. So who knows? But I do know that I'm left unattended this weekend. My mom isn't going to be here, so that always frees me up to do a little bit more. So there's a possibility that I'll do that. So if you go to my website, Cookie, Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self.com. I'm going to change my website. I'm going to get a new domain name eventually, but I have this one until July, so unsupervised is the best kind. So yeah, I might do a surprise live this weekend. I don't know, but there's a likelihood of it. So if you go to my website, which is also linked in my profile here, you can find all the information on the website. If you have any questions, there is a free clarity call that you can sign up for, and we can have a conversation, and I can talk to you about the school and what is entailed in the classes, and even what I would recommend for you. Okay, and yeah, love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Remember to go and be love. Go and be love, because you are love. You are loved and you are loved, so go be love. And in being love, that means that when something happens, you just ask yourself, well, what would love do in this situation? And then just do what love would do. And just remember, though, love isn't wimpy, love isn't weak, love isn't nice, right? Sometimes love is telling you have to do it, right? Sometimes love is saying, no, 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 no. Put down the donut, baby. Pick up a salad, right? So that's love, right? No, 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 no. You can't sit on the couch all day. You got to get up and go move. That's love. So sometimes love isn't soft. Sometimes love is discipline. And, you know, one of the best things that you can give, one of the best ways that you can give yourself love is by being disciplined. Okay? Mwah. I love you guys. If you're feeling called out, it's not from me. It's not from me. Love you. All right. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.